4 and 3 and 2 and a 1, and we have an error. But no, we're live. This is Ted Hicks from Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. Packed house tonight. Tony D's in the queue. Brian TX is in the queue. But we got someone else in the queue. None of that Glick from Nonsensical Nonsense podcast, the executive producer, host, director, contributor, and all the above.
Makeup artist as well.
Yes.
I do the makeup for all the guys on the show.
Tony D, we'll start round robin with you first, my friend. How are you doing?
Chilling. I'm gonna be on mute a little bit because Jason's over there watching TV. You know, it's just something I ain't gonna make him go to bed.
Shout out to Jason because it's school over for you guys in Georgia.
School's been over for a couple of weeks. I do have a grand announcement, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Last night, my stepdaughter had her baby, so I'm officially a step grandfather.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations, Grandpappy Tony D.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cheers, sir.
So,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. I don't really want to throw it out there, but the ex-wife put it up. I did talk to her. She's good. And she was like, "You can't see this, can you?" I said, "You got a baby." She said, "You never thought this happened?" I said, "You got a baby." Because I remember the little girl, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Wow.
we still cool. The dad's dead. They're gonna be married next year. Big ups to him. Cool cat. Got himself together for the most part, and I saw it on his face when I saw the pictures. He's pretty much engrossed in being a dad and grateful, and he's
Good.
feeling blessings. So I see a
good.
bright future. I actually respect the man that wants to be there for the child and get something out of having a child. That's the right kind of dude to be with. Ladies, y'all need to remember that shit. And I'm going to tell you, I don't mean to be rude, but stop messing with these knuckleheads for the moment. Get you somebody who don't mind being there for the real, which is having a family.
That's true.
Straight
That's
up.
true.
So there's for my stepdaughter. I did want to go down there this weekend. My car was acting up. I ain't want to say nothing about it because damn, StabiliTrak kicked on and it got a little stutter when oh my God. So it's a 3-day weekend. I could have shot down there for a night. You know what I'm saying?
It's a 3-day
Time to
weekend.
upgrade the vehicle, man.
I have a recommendation.
And Brian has a recommendation.
Buy a Ford.
I got another recommendation. Give me the money.
I have a recommendation. Don't listen to Brian.
Ah,
In all honesty, I would love to upgrade to a newer version of my vehicle because I like my vehicle.
Mhm.
It's a hell of a vehicle. But
I love the Equinox. We're both Equinox guys.
Phenomenal. Yes, I told Glick about it. He went and got one. He was like, "Dude," I was like, "Yeah."
I will admit, my rental car when I was in Phoenix. I mean, I had the 2023 GMC Terrain Denali. That was pretty cool.
That's a smaller vehicle than the Equinox. Actually, I think it's about the same size, but they're for just you.
It was
that's all
push
you
button.
need. Yeah, for just you, that's all you
Yeah.
need. I don't need the big rigs anymore because I don't plan on doing those moves or whatever.
mhm.
Yeah.
The biggest I would go would be a Traverse or an Explorer right now. I don't need
Yeah.
another Escalade, but I don't need that V8 gas prices right now.
Yeah, I mean, whenever my truck does tap out on me, I'm pretty much I have my eyes set on the Honda Ridgeline.
Okay. On the bed.
Those are pretty nice. No, I got my Equinox last year. It's actually we are celebrating.
Okay.
We are celebrating our 1-year anniversary coming up soon.
Wow.
And I love it. I'm only going to have it for another couple years, and then I'm trading it in for the Chevy Colorado ZR2 pickup truck. I know
We got
what
to
I
talk
want.
about that on another day. Write that down and remind me. We got to talk about the Colorados. I saw a review on them.
GMC Canyon, the Canyon.
We'll talk about it this weekend.
Yeah.
But other than that, with me working,
Honorable mention, I have driven a Ford since 1998. Not the same Ford, but a Ford.
I'm not mad at you. I've had a Mercury Mountaineer. They were I had no problem with that vehicle.
No problem.
150, 200,000 miles on that truck. I had no problem with that vehicle.
it's a Ford.
I was a Ford guy my whole life, Ted. Everything I ever owned up until about 2000. 2012 was all Fords, and then I bought a Pontiac for my ex-wife,
Mhm.
and I had a Ford truck at the time. I had an old Ford pickup truck, 4x4, but it was killing me in gas because I was driving roughly about 100 and some odd miles a day round trip.
Right.
So I bought a brand new Chevy Malibu, 2013, 2012, 2013, and I've been hooked on my Chevys ever since.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
They are very comfortable. The Fords have a price tag on them that's ridiculous. For a big guy, Chevy is the most comfortable thing I've ever driven in my life.
My 93 Lumina, I would love for them to bring that back.
Mm.
That was a decent city and highway vehicle.
I mean,
I
like
cruised in that monster and they had room in it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you guys made fun of me about my Cruise. I had that Chevy Cruise, but man, I was comfortable as all get out in that car.
Because you was a big dude, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I had to do like the whole police watch your head, get into the car. But once I was in the car,
see, I don't have that issue in a truck.
I made one mistake in 2015. I purchased or at least a Ford Edge.
Mm.
And that was 3 years of you driving, and next thing you hit a bump, and it hits like the top of your head, and you're just like,
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like when I was growing up, I mean, like grew up on Chevy because my dad had a 72 Nova, and then he wrecked it, then he got a 75 Nova.
Mhm.
But I was always like Chevy, but then I met my best friend Kenny. He was all about Dodge, and then I got lured into the whole Dodge realm. I'm like, oh yeah, Ram, and I had one. That was my first truck. Was a 2001 Dodge Ram,
Mhm.
and I would always bash on Ford, but after 2008,
Mhm.
I really could not bash Ford because Ford was pretty much the only American motor company that did not need a bailout.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
after that, I shut up about Ford. I'm like, okay.
Was it Ford or was it GMC?
No,
It
it's Ford. Ford.
It's Ford.
On the
Ford. Yeah, Ford never got a bailout.
I think GMC came in on that too.
No, GMC, GMC Chevrolet, they got a bailout. Dodge Chrysler, they got a bailout.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturn went bye-bye. Pontiac went bye-bye.
My wife had a Saturn.
Yeah.
That was like a death trap.
Yeah, Mercury went bye-bye. So I was surprised Buick is still around.
He was gone, I think.
No,
Buick
it's still
is
around.
No, Buick's still around. They got some nice SUVs.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I'm thinking about Pontiac. My bad. I'm thinking about Pontiac.
Pontiac went away years ago because I think
it was after 2008.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was shortly after I got the G6 that I bought for my ex-wife. We got that. It was a year old, and then like a year or two afterwards, Pontiac went under because I wanted to go get another one because that Pontiac G6 was no joke.
That was
We had the Pontiac G6 GT 4-door, and that thing was nice. And I wanted to go get myself one, and Pontiac had went under, so it became very hard to find them, even used. It became very hard to find those G6s.
Because I think like the last year, like all those models overall, I think it was like 2010 was like the last model, and then all the ones that shut down, that was it. Because when you look for like a 2011 or 2012 Hummer H3T, the only thing that pops up is a 2010. Mm-hmm. So,
Brian, what's going on in your world? Because we don't get to see you too often.
Working, man. Summer is officially here because my ass sweated about like 8 pounds today.
Okay.
I mean, even though we had big jumbo fans inside the warehouse and everything, but we just been busy unloading trucks, and tomorrow is going to be a big one because it's like we have 2 containers, and being like 101 degrees outside with the humidity making it feel like 105 being inside of a container. Yeah.
So for the novice people that are listening, When you say container, give us a little bit more of a description.
Shipping container.
Okay.
So we'll get like last week we had a shipping container, one shipping container full of like the Brother small AC units for small buildings. We unloaded that by hand and that's a 50-foot trailer. Then the next day we had another container shipment full of plastic toilet seats, 52-foot container, emptying that by hand. And then the next day we had a bunch of bulb fixtures like dining room ceiling, dining room chandelier, ceiling fans. Hey, Leslie, peaches. So we unloaded that. So it was like 3 days of consecutive being in the container plus unloading a trailer full of appliances and everything. So I got my workout in. I'm still sore, but it's all good.
Leslie, how you doing? And Random Rick, what's going on? Before we move over to Glick, tonight's episode is called, let's see, Tony, if you remember this, everything we do leads up to this moment. Where'd you hear that from, Tone?
I don't remember.
Yes, you do. Glick, that's called applying pressure.
Trust me, I do the same thing to him, Ted.
I don't. Crosshair Shorty was good. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. Unless we talked about it last week.
We talked about it this week on Fireman Rich's podcast because big shout out to Tim Fan 43 who stated
he did say that. You're right. That was one of the quotes.
Was his quote for the day.
That was his quote. You're right.
And there you are. Tony is active on Fireman Rich's podcast at 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern time.
6.
I try, but man, he's on and done before I get up out of bed in the morning. I watch the replays, but I try to get in there when I can when he's live.
You good, Leslie? You good? Not a problem. See, I try to put everybody's stuff out there, man. At least you acknowledge it. Thank you.
Yeah, Ted. Hopefully you don't mind, but I did put this on our YouTube channel tonight.
No. What are you talking about? Please. Crosshair Shorty, what's going on? What is the topic? We got a lot of topics. But right now we're doing a round robin on just catching up with people. So social Sadie.
Hey, Sadie.
Hey, Sadie, how you doing?
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
What's going on in your world?
I am a busy Sasquatch these days.
Okay.
It's summer break.
Unintended.
Yeah, pun intended. It's summer vacation for the kids. So, this week they're with their mom. We do a week on and a week off during the summer. Okay. So I get a nice little, I love my kids. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this wrong in any way, shape, or form. But in the summer, I get a little bit of a break from them because they're gone for a week. But, man, I'm still busy. Work, my girlfriend and I, we live together. So we got that whole relationship thing going on. And then the podcast, man, and Ted, I don't know how busy this keeps you, but we do our show 3 nights a week and then all the behind the scenes stuff, man. I feel like I'm going 1,000 miles an hour with no brakes these days.
You're good. I try to squeeze in 2. It would be this one, and it would be a really truncated, maybe like a 25-minute one if I can. I couldn't do it this week. I did have someone scheduled that I wanted to talk to, my good friend Hezi McCaleb, who originally was from NOLA. He moved to Orlando, and now he's residing in Atlanta, Georgia. So I was hoping to connect him and Tony D, even though Tony D doesn't live in Atlanta. Tony D is throwing that in my face every time I say, hey, we can go catch a Braves game or something like that. And he's like,
he ain't that far from Atlanta, though. Don't let him lie to you.
I'm about 2 hours from that stadium.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's nothing.
That's what it is. That's what
y'all
it is.
Like traffic. I got spoiled by not having to deal with traffic.
Bro, I mean, hey man, you ain't never been on 71 north or south in Ohio. It's just as bad as
You ain't
Atlanta
been in
traffic.
DC traffic.
I've
New
been
York traffic,
I've been in
Atlanta
DC.
traffic.
I've been
Y'all
in
have
DC
not been in
traffic.
Los Angeles traffic.
I've been in DC
Yeah, I
traffic and I've been in Atlanta traffic, and yes, they are terrible. And I was in DC traffic when I worked for 2 Men in a Truck, and I was in a big old 38-foot box truck.
That's terrible.
So I wasn't in my Equinox. And I was a bully. I was a bully in DC because I was bigger than everybody.
And that turnpike traffic on a Sunday, you can hang that up. On
Yeah,
weekend.
You talking about New Jersey Turnpike, or you talking
New Jersey
about
turnpike trying to get to New York from DC on a Friday afternoon after 5 a.m. You are
Painful.
screwed.
And I've been in New York on the George Washington parking lot, the George Washington Bridge parking lot. I've been there
No
before
way.
too.
I'll be on that
And there he is. I still got one of mine in my closet. I'd have to go search it out, but I'll send you a picture of it, Brian.
That Verrazano parking lot ain't no joke either.
Ooh,
Yeah, I've been on that bridge too. But that damn George
Horrendous.
Washington, boy.
Horrendous.
So,
Smoke,
Hey,
going on, brother.
what's going on? Sunday night smoke.
That's it.
Hey,
Everybody popping in. This is what I'm talking about.
But yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, that's what it is for me to go to a Browns game or go to a Reds game. I mean, it's a 2-hour drive from where I am either way.
Oh,
Since he's down south and Cleveland's up north. I'm right in the middle of Ohio.
Right.
so we can get going. We can get to MetLife in New Jersey at 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
Nice.
But going home,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, that traffic leaving a Browns game. I mean, it takes you 2 hours to get there, but trying to leave a game, you might as well plan on 3.5, maybe 4 hours to get home, depending on where you work.
yeah. I mean, like leaving a Texans game is brutal. I mean, it's been like,
bad.
yeah, I had parking passes one time going to a Texans game, and then just sitting in that parking lot and waiting it out till everybody got through. By the time I looked at it, it took me 2.5 hours to get home.
I remember the last time Smoke and I went to a game.
I remember you
It
told
was
me.
a 1 o'clock game. It ended at 4. I think I pulled up to his house by like 7:30.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me see whose YouTube this is, because
What's up, Tommy?
Oh, you know that dude for real?
Yeah, that's my boy. That's one of my OGs from Periscope. Tommy
Oh,
Wonderful. That's the Luchador commander. He's a Washington Redskins fan, and he's got a Luchador mask with well, I guess they're not the Redskins anymore, but the Commanders. But he's got a Luchador mask with the Commander colors. It's actually really cool.
What up, Tom?
Tom, what's going on? You guys would know this better than I, because I think all you guys streamed on it. What's your take on all the talk going on about Periscope and Periscope coming back?
I honestly haven't heard much about it. I mean, as much as I love that platform, and that platform kind of gave me my actual start, and I was on there for a very long time. I mean, I was on there from day one until it ended. I haven't heard much about it coming back. I wouldn't be mad if it does. I would love for it to come back. I think I would find myself there again, as long as it was like it was before.
You mean like
Okay.
this? Like that?
No.
Yeah, everybody loves
That was
this.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
loves
This was
yeah.
bring Periscope back, y'all, so we could be like this again.
Yeah, that was when you had guests on there and stuff like that. Yeah, no,
Go
and I didn't have a whole lot of
Periscope.
guests on my Periscopes. It was just me kind of hanging out in the chat, going crazy.
This is when you was live by yourself too, because people was hosting
Yes.
broadcasts like this,
Mhm.
And I was never on Periscope.
bro. I
My-
already did my rant. Me and Brian talked about this.
my first account on Periscope, like my cooking scopes, was like my highest rated. All the other ones I did was just blah.
I saw something too, Leslie. I just don't know if it was authentic, and I'm gonna say it like that on purpose, because they was on something. Some of the people up there was on something else. They had a lot of legitimate people, but and I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm against trolls. I don't want to see that craziness no more. I'm against a lot of the negative, pessimistic, stagnatory comments, and even conversation of us up there. I
Bring
miss
back
having a
Blab.
decent conversation. I miss having decent people to be around and talk to for 3-4 hours like we had on the other platform. And I hear you, Brian, with the Blab. A lot of people talk about Blab. I wasn't on Blab, so I don't know.
I wasn't on Blab. I
When
wasn't
Blab
on
comes back,
Periscope.
that'll be the answer to all of this, honestly, from what I'm
Yes.
hearing and seeing. Blab will be the answer to all of it. Even Fireman Rich talks about Blab.
I
So
wasn't
Blab
on
will take out what we want from
Bandwidth.
Periscope.
I
and it'll
wasn't
take out-
on none of that stuff.
Yeah, I was on it. It was from a higher person. I got you, Leslie. So if it comes back, that'll be cool. I like it. A lot of people did what I did and let them
Yeah.
know that people want it back. I tagged Elon on it. I said, listen, people want this back. You ain't got to do but two things, and you ain't got no problems out of me. Get rid of the trolls, get rid of the fake accounts, and bring back Periscope for the people that I roll with. And I'm going to be here. I might even verify my account if he does those two things.
Woo!
I
You
made
going
that
all
deal.
out there, Tone.
Yeah, I'll throw it out there. I made that deal with him. If you can get rid of them daggone fake accounts, and you can bring Periscope back for the people that I roll with, I'll verify my account. I'll pay for the. I'll pay annual membership.
Should I get plugged back into the Matrix?
You
You
got a
need to
poll
get
like
plugged
that?
back into something, Brian.
You
I'll
got the
pay for
poll
my
like that with
membership.
Elon? You can just make deals with him?
Nah, I'm just saying that's the deal I make as a
You cut
customer.
a deal with Elon.
If you
Yeah.
if you willing to do what I request, I'm willing to put up where I can. That's business.
Look,
Is
Tony's gonna call Elon and
Mhm.
tell him about the Nonsensical Nonsense podcast.
Oh, Elon ain't ready. I mean, you want to talk about the revenue and making money? All you got to do is just get Elon to put us on Twitter and bring back Periscope and put us on there, and he's gonna make gazillions of dollars.
There you go.
I think you're
No,
going to use the
it-
random multi-broadcast.
It would be really cool if they brought back Periscope and I was able to, like you use StreamYard too, Ted, and I know Tony, you use Restream. If instead of posting it on Twitter like we do the show,
Right.
if I could post it on Periscope and the comments came through so that the Periscope
Yes.
watchers could still comment when we're on Restream, that would be phenomenal. I mean, that would be great. We were actually talking about Periscope earlier tonight when I was live.
Go ahead.
I was on there for 2-3 years that Periscope was around, 4 years or whatever. And that entire time that I was there, never had any drama, never had any beef, nothing going on. It was just Saturday nights having fun and hanging out with a large group of people that I met on that came to my lives on that broadcast. And we had a lot of fun.
It's cool.
So if I could still do the podcast like we do and share the podcast and have those same people around again, or bring back new people from that platform, that would be amazing, in my opinion.
It would just enhance the broadcast because that's the only thing where all these other restreamers, which are great products because we use StreamYard. I know you guys use Restream, but it still doesn't bring all the comments together where everyone sees everything.
That's the biggest downfall is not being able where in the comment section that the people who are watching the show, they don't see if they're watching from Twitch, they don't see the YouTube.
No.
And they don't see or vice versa.
And they can't correspond with them.
Yeah. And that's why I started pushing our YouTube channel so hard. Yeah, we do go live on Twitch, and yeah, we do go live on Twitter, but I've really been pushing our YouTube channel and trying to bring people to the YouTube channel because our chatters box, and I've seen your guys' chat as well. When Tony's doing his show and late night parenting with or parents with you, Ted, and even Smoke and whatnot. There's so much going on in the chat.
Yes.
And the chatters box actually they conversate with each other. If they could somehow merge that to where everybody can see the comments, that would be amazing. Because our
Restream has it.
Restream
has it with the chat overlay. The only reason why I took it off was some slapnut numbskull will come in there and say something stupid.
But they have to want to work together. They have to somehow, and we're already incentivizing them by paying them to use their
platform.
their product.
Mhm.
You know, you would think they get the APIs together, tie them together, allow them to talk to each other, and so that you can have that real experience.
Mhm.
You know,
JoJo was good. I ain't say what's up since he walked in, so my bad.
JoJo, what's going on?
Twitter's doing
Yo,
something.
what's happening? I'm
Twitter's
trying
doing
to get
something.
myself to be seen, but I can't be seen. How y'all doing?
We're chilling.
Doing good.
Christopher Michael was good. Twitter's doing something independent because the multi-streaming platforms that we have,
Christopher Michael,
Twitter's
what's
not
going
connected
on?
to them. And me and Brian talked about that the other day. You can broadcast on them, but we can't see the comments. I actually messaged them from StreamYard. I actually messaged StreamYard and Restream about it. They'll let they know they're working on it. Mind you, that was 6 months ago, and it's been happening for a year that I know of. So we'll go from there. What else? Leslie, the article you sent me. What I noticed about it, because I told Rich the same thing. Look at the name and the title on that article. The W has parentheses around it, and then the name on the other side, it says Titter, not Twitter. That's the only thing I will question. Other than that, I'm going to wait and see, because if it comes back, I'll be on it with everybody. I was on Periscope for a little bit. I just wasn't on as much as everybody else. And like I said, I know people wanted to come back. Periscope had a very huge following. I didn't even realize until I met people who was on there.
Mm-hmm.
It had a very huge, reliable, loyal following. I think,
yes,
and
it
I
did.
will say I think, that will be a jackpot idea for him to go ahead and re-event.
And charge people for it. Charge, you know, because he's got to be incentivized to do this type of stuff, obviously.
I agree.
Yeah.
Christopher Michael, what's going on? Definitely
Man,
my
Michael, let's go
fellow
Mets.
New Yorker.
Should I plug myself back into the Matrix?
I don't
Brian,
know. I don't
Brian,
know.
you
I
already
don't
in
want to
the
be the one to give you that push off the
You're in the-
sidewalk, and then you're cursing me out on a Saturday
I
morning.
would wait, Brian. Brian, in all honesty, I mean, obviously the four of us gentlemen, JoJo, and hey, what's going on, JoJo? Sorry, man, I didn't say hi.
What's happening, Glick? No, it's going good.
You know, the four of us, JoJo and Tony and Ted, we're in the Matrix, we're in the mix. You know, we're doing our things. You know, if you've stepped out of it and for a little bit, just kind of hang back and wait and see what happens. I mean, if they do bring Periscope back and it's something you're interested in, wait for the initial rush, and wait for the bugs to get worked out. And if you like what you see, then bring yourself back into it, man.
Yeah, because like the one thing about like with Periscope that annoyed me was it's just that, you know, a lot of people can't take an honest criticism or an honest opinion, because somebody would ask me my opinion and I'd be completely straight up honest, and by the time I know it, I log back in on Periscope. It's like, your account has been suspended. I'm like, for making a comment? I'm like, bro.
Have we met? I never got suspended on Periscope, and I was worse on Periscope than I am in nonsensical nonsense. And I never had no drama. I never had no beef. I never had nothing.
Time out. Glick, who were you on Periscope? You weren't nonsensical nonsense?
No, it wasn't. Nonsensical nonsense has been my baby in my head for the last probably 15 years or so. It was a podcast that I wanted to create and what I wanted to do. On Periscope, there was a couple variations. When I first started on there, I was just there, so every show had its own title. And then it went to Vape and Chill. When vaping first started becoming real popular and a thing, I was vaping. I was in that mix because I was quitting cigarettes and I got into vaping. So it was Vape and Chill, and then I found my permanent, which kind of followed me to TikTok, which came back to life tonight when I was live earlier, was the Glick Show.
Okay.
And that was kind of my brand, I guess, if you want to label it that way, not to sound like a complete douche, but that was my brand, the Glick Show.
Toby.
So
Leslie said even she got it suspended, but it was accidental.
Wow.
But I never got suspended on Periscope, and you know, I mean, there's people that don't like our show that have listened to our show. There's people who have never even seen our show, don't know anything about our show, don't even know who's on our show that don't like our show, Nonsensical Nonsense. So it's kind of wild to hear about people getting suspended or banned on Periscope because
I got a question for you. Do they download the show?
The podcast?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't know. Some revelations came up in the last few weeks for me, and there's been a whole lot of people that have got to meet me for the first time, and have all said the same thing. Oh, you're the host of that podcast that is crap and hateful and blah blah blah. And I'm like, do you? Who told you that? Have you listened to it?
But Glick, you're supposed to say thank you for watching, thank you for
Oh,
listening,
no,
like, share, subscribe.
That's what I. You know
Same
what?
bat time, same bat
You
channel.
don't like us and you're still
Yep.
watching. You're the best damn fans in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Our numbers don't lie, and we got nice numbers. So thank you guys, even if you don't like us.
Right. Hey, click that RSS feed and continue. Every time we push out a show, it'll be right there on your phone.
Oh, and don't worry. As of tonight, we are in a lot more places too.
There you go.
Hey,
There
hey.
you go.
And
Before we ask Mr. B what's going on with the weekend, Tony, I want to help you.
What's up? Oh, shit.
I want to share some information with you. I know we didn't talk about this behind the scenes or in pre-production, but I'm just gonna go there. So, Tony, are you sitting down?
Yeah, I'm sitting down. I even put my beer down. Go ahead.
Cool.
Tone, I am gonna share something with you.
All right, you start.
Tone,
What is this?
I want to help you file a claim in Google's $23 million settlement.
I
Tone,
want to get in on this. I want to get my check for $1.23.
Tone.
Oh no.
So as we know, there's, everyone uses Google, and there's been some issues between October 2006, September 2013, and you may be entitled to a cut of the $23 million settlement that Google has agreed to pay.
You
So
know,
we're going to find out. Tony,
Am I
Yes.
feeling lucky?
who is eligible to receive this money in Google's class action settlement?
people who use Google search and clicked on a search result link between or on October 26, 2006 and September 30th, 2013 are included in the settlement as a settlement class member. Settlement class members have to decide to participate by July 31st. Now, this was something we were just talking about a couple months ago when the issue came down with TikTok having to go before Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I told everybody, people was like, they don't want to use TikTok because they don't like TikTok giving the information to specific people. Google don't even tell you who they gave your damn information to.
They're just giving it away.
They're just giving it away. So this is my thing with these platforms. They are all allowed to and able to do this. The
But
question comes
Tone,
down
they're
to-
able to do this because you give them all your
You-
information.
Yeah,
Well, people
agree.
use the internet like that. People are using the internet. And Google is the largest search engine on the planet, I believe.
Yes,
It used to be Yahoo.
Google.
No. AOL.
Okay, AOL. That's fine. I'll give you that. So when you mad at one platform because you know who they're giving it to, you need to be mad at the other ones because you don't know who they're giving it to.
Mhm.
And this was the original situation with Google a few years ago. And for those of you who may not remember, the first time Google came out with a phone, the problem people had with that phone was Google Earth would show exactly where you live without your permission.
Exactly where you live. Not
That's
just
your
your state, down
house.
to your street.
Your driveway. How many
Yeah,
cars?
down to your driveway. They will show your house. They will show you out on your front porch drinking a beer, barbecuing.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was 2009.
I've been telling y'all for years to stop using Google and just click
And
it.
y'all use Google for everything. Let me be clear. I use Microsoft Edge on purpose because
There you
Google was already giving their stuff out and Safari had got hacked a couple times. I said, I'm going to try
Mhm.
something different. I
What
ain't
about
gonna
that?
go ahead.
What about that? What is it called? Duck? Duck something or
Duck,
another.
duck,
Go.
Duck Go-Go?
Oh, I
Duck,
get
duck,
them
go.
5 more years. I get them 5 more years for somebody getting that.
I don't know much about it. I know my former boss, he used to use it and he swore by it because it was like, they're not going to give your information out. What you search is secret. And I'm like, I'm not really looking up anything that needs to be a secret.
You don't think so?
Tone, how do I submit a claim?
To opt out or into of the settlement, visit
Referrer
referrerheadersettlement.com. REFERHEADERSETTLEMENT.com. Yeah, referrer header settlement. To opt out, which I don't think why you would. I'm not even going to finish it. To opt into, click on the registration form page, fill out your information and submit it to receive a class member ID at your email provided on your registration form. I'm going to stop there. All of you up in here who has used Google, let me go ahead and tell you. If they tell you something like this,
Spoiler alert.
you get it on an email.
Spoiler alert.
I want to suggest it because iPhone had an issue with the iPhone 4. And they had this happen. I turned my stuff in because I've been using iPhone since the 3G. And I got my little $4, $5 check. Mind you, if you want to know where your money is or why you ain't got none, because you ain't doing these, and these are legitimate. You got to make sure that they're legitimate, number one. Number two, you're going to hear it all over the news. I don't even want to be up here all night. So I'll do this. So ladies and gentlemen, submit your claim. Read the article at claims.com. Follow Ted Hicks. It's on his website.
Tone, the most important thing, Tone, how much is the payment for? That after you read all of this stuff and you fill it out, and you go to this database and you submit the claim based on the current data, the payment amounts for those with approved claims is expected to be around $7.70 per person.
They're giving us that mad rapper money.
That's that jury duty
I can't even go to McDonald's on the value meal with that $7 check.
That's jury duty check, man.
Yeah. 2 cheeseburger combo, that's $7. 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink.
No, it ain't $7. I just got it yesterday. It was $9.
That's Ohio. I'm sorry.
October 12th is the date that you can expect the settlement to be finalized. And going forward, Google's going to change in its frequently asked questions, its FAQs, to those who are familiar with the acronym, key term pages to explain circumstances under which search queries are shared with third party using referrer headers. That's a lot of legalese for pay attention to who, when you click on these options on these various web pages and the like, that there's options in there that says, hey, I'm going to share your information with, and you have the option to say no, or you have the option to say, yeah, okay. But you got to at least make an effort to read it.
Smoke said it's Sunday night smoke money check.
Man, Sunday night smoke, you big time, and you making all that money, you can cut that kind of check. There you go, son.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yo.
Big time baller at Sunday Night Smoke podcast. How do
So
I get
Tone,
it on
did I
that?
help you potentially make $7.70?
Of course.
It's probably not going to change your life, but
It ain't gonna change my life, but I can mess around and I can get something from the family.
You can get a gallon and a half of gas with $7.70.
You know what? There might be a full 2 gallons right there.
Not in Ohio. It's not.
That might cover half the cost of your
no.
peach.
If you get regular, I think you get 2 gallons right there.
Nah, premium or regular.
Box.
Yeah, as I say, regular here in Ohio is
regular here is $3.09.
It's 3. Well, when I got gas this morning, it was $3.69.
I wish it was.
Yeah, you in New York.
Yeah.
You're $5.
It's like in some areas around my neighborhood, it's like $2.89, and then some others are like $3.09.
But it's always cheaper in the South. I mean, I knew that from living in Charleston for all them years that I lived down there. I mean, our gas was usually, anywhere from 50 to 80 cents cheaper down there than what it was for my friends up here in Ohio.
Phoenix. Now, when I was in Phoenix, good God, it was like for regular was $4.89, and then if you were paying with cash, it was $4.69.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was another thing that annoyed the hell out of me too. Like normally, if I wanted fast food, like if I went to Jack in the Box and I got like a sourdough sandwich combo, so in my neighborhood it's like $10. Over there, I paid like $16.
Damn.
I was losing it. However, though, they sell liquor at Walmart and they sell alcohol every day of the week.
Yeah, and we do the same thing here in Ohio.
But here in Houston, Sunday, no alcohol, only beer.
Oh, well, like Nikki, my girlfriend, she's from PA, and the first time I went out there, we went to go buy beer. We stopped at Sheetz gas station, which it's a PA thing. Sheetz, and they're coming to Ohio and whatnot. Now they're all over the place. But we went out there, and I got a 12-pack, and she got a 12-pack, and she said we have to pay for these separate. And I said, no, I got you. I'll pay for them. And she's like, no, state law, you can only buy so many ounces of alcohol at a time. And I'm like, what? So when she moved out here, she went up to Walmart and she was picking up some things, and she was like, I got you beer. We'll go up and get me something to drink later. I said, just get it while you're there. You can buy as much alcohol in Ohio as you want. You know, and our Walmart has liquor, but then like we have Kroger's here in Ohio.
Kroger's good.
And Kroger's here in Ohio, that's where our liquor store is. Our liquor store is in Kroger's grocery store. So you go in and buy your liquor, and then you pay for it inside the liquor store, but then you can go do your grocery shopping. And I told her, I said, baby, you can get a cart full of alcohol. You can go to the liquor store and buy 17 bottles and get 10 cases of beer, and ain't nobody going to bat an eye at you, because welcome to Ohio. We are alcoholics and we are proud of it.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing in Houston. I mean, you can buy as much as you want.
Yeah.
But then on
that
Sundays,
blew my mind. I mean, it was like, I think it was like 90 some odd ounces per purchase or something like that, which is the equivalent of a 12-pack, unless you go to the beer distributor. If you go to the beer distributor, which is just like your little Quickie Mart type deal, then you can buy as much as you want. But if you go to the gas station or the grocery store, and I'm like, but her parents were up here last weekend, and PA is only right next door to us. And we went to Kroger's a couple times, and her dad was like, hey, y'all got some good looking tater salad and macaroni salad and stuff like that. But it's for a big container here, it's like $6. He said in PA for a small container, half that size, it's like $8. Ooh. Wow. I was like, ouch. And it's only 2 hours to the border of PA from where I'm at.
Wow.
So
Jojo, got a quick question for you.
Yes.
What is happening this weekend in the world of combat sports?
All right.
That UFC card don't look interesting.
So this weekend, there's a lot of combat sports happening. PFL is gonna be battling Bellator for Friday, as you see behind me on this joint here. We got the PFL 5, the regular season, headlined by heavyweights and the women's featherweight tournament continuing. Last week was PFL 4. Sidebar: last week's event was crazy. Brendan Loughnane, who was last year's winner, got eliminated by a random dude out of the blue. Knocked him out in the first round, eliminated both him and what's this dude's name? Chris Wade, who was a finalist in like 3 or 4 of the tournaments. Blasted both of these dudes out the water. Now they're no longer in the tournament. Fast forward. So this is headlined by Maurice Green against Ante Delija. Ante Delija won last year's heavyweight tournament. Maurice Green fought in UFC. He's here. He got to win. If he gets a win here, it'll be pretty good. If not, he'll be fighting a little bit, but he'll probably be in the semifinals. Larissa Pacheco, who won the tournament for the lightweight tournament last year, who beat Kayla Harrison. She's going to be fighting this girl by the name of Amber Learbrock. Amber Learbrock's been fighting in a whole lot of organizations. She's been in MMA for quite a while. She's really tall, really lanky. She's like 6 feet tall. She'll have the height advantage over Larissa, probably some of the power advantage, We'll see how it goes, but it's gonna be pretty dope. There's a list of guys fighting on here, a list of ladies. I won't drag it out, but we got some Sambo dudes. We got the former Bellator featherweight champion on fighting on the card too. Who else is fighting on here? We got some Sambo specialists and whatnot. It's okay. It's okay. But what I'm going to be really paying attention to is the other card that's going to be on Friday. Bellator 297. Why? Because Bellator 297 seems to be the ish. I'm not going to curse on here. This is family friendly. And so we have a doubleheader, which is actually two of the biggest fights outside of the UFC. I say the headliner is a big deal because that's one of my dudes. That's like my dude. Yoel Romero will be fighting what may be his last chance at a world title against former GOAT of the heavyweight division, Fedor Emelianenko, Pride heavyweight champion. The dude was undefeated for like 30 fights. There's history. This guy got dunked on his head and still won the matchup against Kevin Randleman years ago, where he got suplexed on his head. His head. But yeah, this is his right-hand man, Vadim Nemkov, who's had a hell of a run. Managed to come into Bellator, beat Ryan Bader for the light heavyweight championship in a tournament format. Yeah. Came, beat him. Been running roughshod. Hasn't lost since like 2017, I think it is, or 2018. Really, really skilled. Sambo national champion. He wrestled with the national team, trains with Fedor. What's more to say? But Yoel Romero, that man's wrestling accolades run long and far and wide. This man literally beat a shit ton of Russians. Oh, God. And I said, I'm family friendly. Right. He's beat a ton of Russian wrestlers through his younger years. Only critique about him is if he would have came into the sport sooner instead of later. But he wrestled Cael Sanderson years ago. He also wrestled at New Japan. New Japan wrestler for part of the United Empire. Jeff Cobb. He wrestled that guy some years ago, back in 2004 when they were kids. But yeah, guy's a mutant. He's a tank. He's gonna be fighting for the light heavyweight title. I hope he wins. The co-main event's a big deal. Sergio Pettis, who's on this side right here, the younger brother of Anthony Pettis, is looking to trailblaze his way into the bantamweight Hall of Fame. You could say he has the title. He'll be fighting this dude, Patricio Pitbull, who's on the other end. Now, everybody knows Patricio Pitbull. Patricio Pitbull is a 2-division champion in Bellator. Patricio Pitbull beat a list of who's who in the featherweight division. He beat Michael Chandler out, pretty much. He beat Chandler and won the lightweight title for Michael Chandler, who's currently in the UFC right now making that money. Yeah. And he's out here trying to get this third title to become a 3-division champ. If he becomes a 3-division champ, I think his leverage, whether he's going to decide to stay or leave, is big time. He'll be looking for big time pay if he stays. If he goes to the UFC, even bigger pay. But if Sergio gets a win here, he makes the claim to be one of the best bantamweights out of the UFC. If Patricio wins, damn it, he makes history for Bellator. The rest of the card's pretty good. Old man Phil Davis fights Corey Anderson. We also got this dude by the name of Daniel James versus Gokhan Sarakam. Pretty good card. A lot of good upstarts. A lot of good people from American Top Team. One of the top gyms, in MMA. LFA's on too. Just quick snippet of that. John Sweeney faces Alan Bagoso. Bagoso tried for the Contender Series but lost his opportunity because he got beat bad. If he gets a win here, it'll be a second opportunity for him to get it. The co-main event is for the interim middleweight title between Dylan Budka and Azamat Bekaev. Bekaev is 15-3. Budka's 5-1. Good card on UFC Fight Pass. It'll start at 9. The main card will. Oh yeah, the PFL prelims at 6:30. Main cards at 10. Bellator, the main card, the prelim cards at 6 o'clock. You can catch the whole prelims on YouTube, and the main cards at 9 o'clock on Showtime. What is us? Oh yeah, the UFC. So the UFC got Marvin Vettori versus Jared Cannonier, 2 of the top 10 in the division in a middleweight fight. Both of these dudes lost to Israel Adesanya, trying to find their way back to fight for the middleweight title. The whole card is okay. A lot of good matchups. If you're a betting person, these are really good matchups for you to try to bet on. Yes, I'll be on tomorrow with Mike Copenaver on Cope's Corner. KOPSKRNER MMA, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, the main event, Marvin Vettori, Jared Cannonier. We were supposed to get a better co-main event, but Armin Sarukian is still going to be fighting somebody by the name of Joaquin Silva. Silva's out of Brazil. Pretty good guy. But Armin Sarukian's a monster. Super sharp striking skills. Good wrestling. Armenian. Dope. That main event, though, Vettori, crazy Italian dude. Jared Cannonier, super calm dude. Explosive power. Marvin Vettori doesn't have power, but he's just frustrated, man. Crazy pace. But the rest of the matchups are pretty good. And there's boxing. Now, one boxing fight, I'm kind of like, and the other one, I'm like, oh, I need to see that. And that's Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is going to be fighting a man by the name of Danielito Zorrilla. This will be for the WBC World Super Lightweight title. Why is this a big deal? Teofimo Lopez just won the lightweight titles after beating the brakes off of Josh Taylor. I still can't believe that happened, but it happened. Masterful performance. But Regis is the guy that now has the opportunity to fight Teofimo. Regis only got one loss to Josh Taylor, but he is holding that super lightweight title. We also got Shakram Giyasov, who's undefeated at 13-0, versus Harold Calderon, that's 27-0. We got a intercontinental female super bantamweight title between Ramla Ali, who's 8-0, against Alejandra Guzman, who's 12-2-2. There's a couple other good fights on here with some good up-and-comers. Aaron Aponte, undefeated, faces Xavier Madrid at 140. Ginny Funches, who's 115, 2-0, fights Delia Smith, 6-7-2. And then there's some good upstarter fights. And then we got Tim Zhu, son of Costa Zhu, who got the highlight reel knockout over Zab Judah a couple years back. You guys, he put Zab Judah on stanky legs. Yeah, that was a highlight. Hell of a highlight. 2-round knockout. Yo, crazy. But yeah, Tim Zhu, undefeated, is fighting Carlos Ocampo, man, who's 35-2. Really solid boxer. Really good skills, man. That is going to be on, I want to say, where's that going to be on? I'm trying to remember. It's going to be, probably on Showtime. If not Showtime, then probably the Zone. One of the two. But, yeah. No. I might be right. I'm trying to remember. But, yeah. Good card. A lot of Australian fighters up on the card there. But, yeah, man. What am I going to say? Sam Goldman, Risa Leem. The Leem fight's going to be a good co-main event. Other than that, there's a lot of Australian folks. That's it. If you care for wrestling, CM Punk comes back on Saturday. That's it. I'm done. Let's go.
Before we pivot, we're going to pivot back because I do have a boxing question that I want to ask everyone. I just want to let you know, Netflix, Ted Sarandos, the co-CEO, who said on at least 30 occasions that they're not interested in live sports, is planning to stream his first live sport event.
They better.
Oh wow, really?
they're in early talks to enter the world of live sports. According to the Wall Street Journal,
You better pick up on that.
the streamer is in early discussions to broadcast a celebrity golf tournament, not your,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like Tom Brady and
right,
Tiger Woods versus Aaron Rodgers and
right,
Roy McIlroy or something like that.
which would feature some of the stars of its Drive to Survive Formula One series. So the event is likely to take place in Vegas, probably around the time of the Grand Prix in November. Earlier this year, they streamed a live gig by, of course, Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, they've also gained the rights to stream the Screen Actors Guild Award for 2024. I'm not sure if people even watch shows like that anymore, but
The SAG?
yes.
I think there's a lot of people that still watch it, like your normal average, like the five of us and people hanging out. We might not watch it, but there's a certain group of people that enjoy the SAG Awards.
Yeah.
Before we pivot back to the question, I do want to shout out because we do have some fathers on the panel. I want to say Happy Father's Day to you guys.
Well,
for those of
Happy
you,
Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Happy Father's Day, y'all.
yes, and to those who
Cheers.
might not have biological children, I'm sure you're taking care of someone or being a guidance to someone. So cheers to you guys. So my question to you, last week on the Zeus Network, we saw an S show with John Gotti III
I was trying
versus
to avoid
Floyd
this.
Mayweather.
I didn't even talk about this on my.
I was going to say, you know how many people in the quote unquote mainstream brought this up, and I brought this up on our show.
Yeah.
As for what it was an absolute. And JoJo, I mean, first and foremost, shout out to you, man, for rocking those names.
Yes.
That's
you.
impressive.
He think I be lying. Super syllable sportscast. I'm sticking with
That's impressive because nonsensical
that's
nonsense.
triple
Words
S.
are hard. If I was putting them names out there, I'd have butchered them all. So shout out to you, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Shout out to you, brother. But no, I think we kind of touched on it for a hot minute on nonsensical nonsense, and basically put that out there as what it was. It was a joke, and it was an embarrassment to the sport. Now I haven't really religiously watched boxing. I just don't feel like boxing is as good as it used to be. I'm a little bit up there in age, as it was in the late 80s and 90s. Man, I loved boxing back in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think there's been that star or that fighter who has really caught the eye of the fan and really drawn in. Mayweather, yeah, he's undefeated, but I'm an old school guy, man. I like those guys that get in the ring and bang it out.
Right.
We all grew up with Tyson.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, I was that cat
Holyfield.
back in the day that was spending $50 on a Tyson fight that lasted 15 seconds, and I wasn't mad.
I hear you.
I was not mad.
I hear you.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was 1991 or 92. It was in the movie theaters the night Mike Tyson got knocked out.
Buster
Yeah.
Douglas.
Yes.
I
was in the-
And
I was in
someone
the-
said it in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is like 30 years ago. And it was just like, Tyson just got knocked up. And people was like, what? No,
Exactly.
you're lying.
Exactly. You bugging.
It would never happen.
back then the fighters were bulldogs, man, and Tyson was the ultimate bulldog. Like he didn't even let you get out the corner, and he was on you.
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, I love that. I don't like this. I'm gonna protect myself and run around the ring nonsense that's going on these days. But
It's crap.
all these cats, Mayweather, as popular as he is, and even Pacquiao. I mean, they're kind of making a joke out of the sport. And then you're gonna let people like
Pacquiao's real deal.
I mean, no disrespect towards Pacquiao, but he's past his prime. He's still doing his thing, but I mean, it's tough to watch boxing these days or UFC. UFC is just hard for me to watch because there's so many fighters. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. There's a lot
There's
of
so many fighters. I mean, they've bought out so many different mixed martial arts or different franchises and stuff like that. There's so many weight classes and so many fighters. It's hard to keep track. I don't know how you do it, man. Again, shout out to you, JoJo, because you are like you are on it, bro. And
Eat, sleep,
like,
breathe it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I knew one name, and that was Anthony Pettis' brother.
Yeah.
Because I knew Anthony Pettis.
Yeah.
Out of everything you talked about, I'm like, oh, I know that name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
I gotta link it up somewhere. For people to understand, you know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I fell off the wagon watching UFC, and then all of a sudden, like coming across JoJo, and he's just like talking it up. I'm like, dang, I fell off
He's
the
like, who
wagon.
is this dude?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
want to watch the UFC. I want to watch JoJo talk about the UFC
Because I mean, yeah,
and Bellator and stuff like that. I don't want to watch it. I just want to watch you talk about it because you make it fun again, man.
yeah. 'Cause, I mean, like the last time I saw a UFC fight was when Misha Tate lost the title to Amanda Nunes. That was about it.
Ah,
I think the last UFC pay-per-view I seen that I watched was when Brock came back from
and fought Mark Hunt.
No,
Yeah.
he fought Alistair Overeem.
Overeem.
That was before he fought Mark
right
Hunt,
after he
yeah,
came back
before
from
he
that
fought
intestinal disease he had.
Yeah,
and
diverticulitis.
And Overeem hit him in the stomach, and you seen that like Brock's soul left his face.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it wasn't even that good of a shot. It wasn't even that clean of a shot, but it was one that really, I mean, just took the man's soul away from him because he wasn't ready. That was the last UFC fight that pay-per-view that I watched.
And people forget he wasn't fighting Overeem, he was fighting Ubereem.
Ubereem
was on all this stuff.
Yeah.
He was on everything.
And no discredit to Alistair. I mean, the cat was a beast. The dude was a monster.
Beast, yeah.
But I think that would have been an amazing fight if you would have got Brock 100% healthy, 100% in the clear, no doubt in his mind. That would have been a monster fight.
He was dirty as can be, right?
Who?
What's that?
Was Brock dirty as can be at that point?
No. He wasn't dirty. He was just coming back from that. What is it?
Diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis. But with Mark Hunt, he was dirty, right?
Yeah, he popped. Yeah, he popped for it.
He did. Yeah, he did pop dirty.
Yeah,
I mean, he's no John Jones or anything.
He looked damn near bigger than he was when he had left. That was the craziest thing. And it's crazy that Mark Hunt fight was on the same card the Misha Tate Nunes fight was on, UFC 200.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, pushed that whole thing up because John Jones failed.
I do like it. I do like it now that there's more avenues to watch the fight now. As JoJo and I talked in private about it, but yeah,
I just want to hear JoJo talk about it. I don't want to watch it.
I mean, I hadn't seen it in a while, but I was just going through because I was trying to like buy tickets for like Transformers, and all of a sudden I saw like my local theater advertising for UFC, and I'm like, what? So I'm like, I'm gonna go watch it at the theater, which is a whole lot better than watching it on a 55-inch, 65-inch TV at your Hooters, Bombshells, whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch it on an IMAX screen. No big deal.
Out there. Listen, if
but watching the fight on IMAX was awesome.
If you like what JoJo is talking about, you got to catch him on OK Live when he's unfiltered. He's cracking jokes. He's giving you great commentary. The app is crap, but his commentary is
agitating.
It's frustrating. The stuff that I have to go through.
Yeah, because sometimes it goes fine, and then other times it's like, I'm like, yo, what the hell's going on? I got to restart it like 2-3 times. I got to restart it. Jesus. Sorry, Lord. But yeah, it just gets on my nerve. But yeah, when it's good, it's good. But yeah, the commentary and all that stuff, because I got to make it easy. I got to make it understandable, because those people that do the stuff, hey, what's happening?
Touring the
What's
AFC
going on,
South.
Tour?
Mike Patton is in the
Mike
house. What's
Patton,
good,
what's
bro?
going on?
Got to make it digestible for everybody who's watching, because those dudes that do commentary half the time, they be talking basura, man. It's just straight up trash. It's just like I don't know. The commentary team sometimes be lost. Joe Rogan, he be talking, but then other times he's high, so he just says whatever. DC over there.
Joe
You
Rogan's
know,
an
bro.
idiot.
Joe, you crazy, man. Dominic Cruz, overhook, underhook. What's my dude? Paul Felder. He's just dead serious. He cracks jokes a little bit, but him, Anik. I love John Anik. John Anik is a hell of a commentator. Michael Bisping, I'm tired with him too. But yeah, good set of guys, man. Good set of guys. But
I
yeah,
think you're just gonna get Mauro Ronaldo.
Mauro Ronaldo.
Mauro Ronaldo be doing UFC. That'd be awesome.
I wish he would. But he never did. He did Pride, and that was
He
a
did Strike
good job.
Force.
And Strike Force. Awesome. Elite XC as well. Yeah. He should, man. And he does boxing pretty damn good. So why not?
Hey, Glick, where and when and where can we find the Nonsensical Nonsense podcast?
Oh my lord. Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast.
Green check.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, 6 p.m. ish on YouTube. All at Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. All our social media is all Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. If you find one social media, hit the link in the bio. You'll find everything. And the rebirth of the Glick Show started tonight.
Okay.
I've been asked and been told that people want it back, so I brought it back tonight. I don't know an exact day or time yet, but it'll also be on our Nonsensical Nonsense podcast platform as well. So to make it easier, that's just me by myself talking about whatever topics I decide to talk about, or just hanging out and shooting the breeze.
Got it. Brian, when and where can we catch you?
Mainly like on Snapchat.
Add Brian on Snapchat if you like to get hungry randomly
At
throughout the day.
Thailander underscore
Telling you,
F150. Hey,
Got it.
you guys thank me later.
Got it. The thing that he sent tonight, I was just like, what in the Dickens?
Language.
Gosh golly, gee darn it.
Heavens to
No.
Betsy.
I know.
Mr. B, where can we catch you across the board? You better not forget about B-sides.
Yeah, man. B-sides of the fight game with your boy Mr. B. That's Wednesdays. I hit it between 4 and 6. There you go. But I'll throw up the reminders to let y'all know. It's on YouTube and Twitch. Usually I'm on Twitter. New Year, same B at Mr. B 1986. Ask a question, drop a question in the DMs. See my tweets, see my retweets. It's combat sports and random topics. I'm on OK Live. Whenever there's a fight going on, I'm on OK Live at Mr. B. So I'll be here for when the fights are up. When the fights are there, I'll be there. I'll be watching. I'll be cracking that commentary, sending them jokes, and enjoying those fights. Yes, sir. And I'm with Mike on Fridays, Cope's Corner. Mentioned that, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. Yeah. And I'm on here with you guys. Yeah, that too.
Last but not least, Tony D, original. If we're not following you at Tony D. original,
Why is that not your brand name, your platform name for everybody to find you across the board? Tony, you got so many dang on names.
It's funny you should ask
It's
that.
hard to follow you.
It's funny you should ask that because one of the people actually told me to do that, and then I do it. But they still require and request the other links in the process because I actually do have a link tree, ladies and gentlemen. TonyD.original, common spelling, TonyD.original.
That is the longest link tree in the history of links.
You can't stop. Do me a favor. Put the beard in your mouth and shut up. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen.
Jealous of my beard. It don't matter where we are. You always got to make a comment about my beard. You're so jealous.
Okay, let me narrow it
I'm the
down.
nicest beard
Find me on
Couple
Twitter,
sips of Budweiser.
TONYT163. You can find me on Instagram and Twitch, TONYT0172. You can find me on TikTok, TONYTON19723. You can also find me on Rumble, TONYT0172. I'm going to work on that soon. YouTube, TONYD7444, or the Random Multi Broadcaster, not THEDA, duh, Random Multi Broadcaster, because I'm ghetto.
4 hours later.
You ain't talking about that. You love broadcasting. Anyway, I'm kind of quiet. I've been sharing a lot of broadcasts that I've been on, so people.
Aren't you back on MySpace too?
No, people can see how busy I have been. With everybody else, the other
He's in AOL chat too.
Shout out to my man
No.
Patton over there, the main sportscaster out of all of us. All jokes aside, he has had the big interviews, and we'll give him his props for having Jamel Hill up there, and a lot of former NFL stars and all that. Big ups to Mike Patton. All jokes aside,
Yes, sir.
Mike, I'm not sipping on nothing. That's why I'm leaning, because my shoulder's killing me. My muscle ache's starting to kick back in. I'm about to go get my BioFreeze and put that back on.
Mike,
you can also find me up here, Late Night Parents, my man Ted Hicks. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. You can find me on the Southern Night Smoke podcast, my man Ace World over there, Sunday 6:30-ish, depending on how things are going on. You can find me on Nonsensical Nonsense with this bearded joker over here that still got another beer in his
Best
hand.
beard on social media.
Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 6
Not
Just
quite.
saying.
Not quite.
6
Calm
p.m.
down, baby beard.
And I also tend to do things myself every now and then. I actually took tonight off because
Who's that?
Rick did his show,
The random broadcaster.
and then Ted did his show today. So I took tonight off. I might do something tomorrow. I
You're
do have
busy today, Tony.
I stay busy between work, being a dad, and hanging out with y'all. Shout out to JoJo for what he's doing. I have shared his broadcast. Y'all check him out. If you are a combat sports fan, check out JoJo, Mr. B. Check
Even
out.
if you're not a combat sports fan and you just want to hear
Check
a
out
real
my
cat
man,
talking
Mike
real,
Pickett.
check out
him
JoJo.
This dude, Jesus.
Or if you're a former fan of
Brian,
UFC or anything like
we
that,
did do
check
our
out.
broadcast the other night. I'm glad I got that out. I've been waiting to do that one with him for a long time. So big ups to him for real. We're gonna try and do another. It's a 3-day weekend. Ain't no telling. Man, I know you ain't do that. I have my glasses on early. That's what you get for having squinted eyes. Now,
During the AFC, I'd like to get with you and chit chat some football with you, because I know you know your football, man.
yeah, he do. He know his sports.
Hey JoJo,
Well, he's more on my level,
don't look pretty.
Get out of here, Brian.
but he's way better than I am. He knows way more than I do, but he's more on my level. He likes that in-depth football conversation that drives you crazy, Tony, that I do to you.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind it sometimes. I want to wait till the season starts.
Yeah.
Ted, I don't know how much time I got left. I apologize. The Bill Kings Fantasy Football League. I do want to try and see if we can do something this weekend.
Bill Kings.
I have not covered the
Hey,
draft.
Ted, you said you were doing a nonsensical nonsense 3 hours, right?
Why you made that face? Oh, yeah.
Did want to cover the draft. I know we got some things going on in NFL with NFL players. I know we got some stories we could cover. I'll see how it goes.
Oh, nice.
I'll be there for the football season.
Yeah. See, Mike ain't playing, man. Y'all gotta holler.
Jim Trotter is the dude.
Yeah.
Chick touring the AFC out. AFC
Jim
South.
Trotter is
Man.
the dude.
I enjoy what Mike does. I watch it on the low. I mean, I kind of put it on the background and listen, and I like what he does. You know, he's obviously higher up on. You know, he's doing his thing a little bit higher up than what I am, but we're on the kind of sort of on the same level.
We got to catch him straight up. We got to catch him.
Hey Mike, when you coming down to Houston to like interview D'Amico Ryans and the Texans, man?
Nobody's
That'd be
worried
awesome.
about the Texans. Nobody cares about the Texans.
Word, Brian.
Most people forget that Houston even has a
Look at
football team.
look here, 10 different logos in 5 years.
We haven't had 10 different logos. This is the first time we changed our logo, and I don't know how long. Now, if you want to really make a crack on the Browns, what you need to say is, listen here, Mr. 45 quarterbacks in the last 24 years.
This is true.
Come on, be better, Brian. 45 quarterbacks and 27 head coaches in the last 24 years. Be better.
Oh, cool.
Oh my goodness. So with that, I want to thank you once again for joining us. We went a little bit over. We didn't go quite the nonsensical nonsense marathon time frame, but Tony D was like,
Get on our level,
you know,
Ted.
I'm not, I'm a little, I got to go to sleep, Ted, because I got to wake up in the morning. And then I tell you, 5 o'clock Eastern time, you turn on Fireman Rich, Tony D is right there in the queue.
Can
That's
we
what we
can we
do
get
at the
Fireman
evening.
Rich to start
That's
doing his show
what
at
we do around that
6:30?
time.
The man is retired. The man don't got to do anything. Can we get him to start doing his show at 6:30 in the morning instead of
He
5
does it
in
at
the
6
morning?
now. He's at 6 now. He comes
He's
on
at
late.
6. So we got to get him on one evening. Maybe we start a little bit early one evening, but that might clash with Carmen
He just made it on my
and Rick
broadcast.
and friends.
What was that, Sunday he came on? He came on me and Brian Sunday.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean Fireman Rich, much like Ted, actually everybody in here outside of Tony, but Brian knows he can come up on Nonsensical Nonsense anytime. But JoJo, Ted, you guys are welcomed anytime. You know,
Got
you just
it.
let us know. We'll make sure we get the link sent to you. You guys
Got
are
it.
welcomed on our show anytime.
Cool.
Got it.
Ted should probably plug his ears if he comes on our show. Because we are not family friendly.
Language.
Yo,
Oh my god.
Joe, our Christian ears. I don't know if we're gonna be able
man.
to.
We'll add a beep button. So every time we curse, we'll just beep the button so Ted doesn't hear it.
Oh my
God.
goodness. Had loads of fun. I want to thank you. Want to thank everyone that has been in the chat this evening. There's been so many different people in the chat. As always, we'll be back next week. Yes. We'll be back next week. So to Glick, Brian, Tony D, and JoJo, want to say thank you, and we are out.
Much love, guys.
Good night, y'all.
Toodles.